Okay, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the Bronx Pinstripe Show. Scott, I gotta tell you, watching Oldtimers Day, seeing all the old guys there, and now they're old,
They're old.
which makes me feel old. When I saw Paul O'Neill's still have full head of hair, so shout out Paul O'Neill for the full head of hair. But
He's got good genetics with the lettuce. He's got that.
It's gray lettuce now.
That's fine.
No, I know, but seeing the gray lettuce pop out of the helmet, it kind of made me be like, oh shit, right. These guys are old. It's like back in the 90s, early 2000s when we were watching all the old guys from the 60s and 70s come back and play. Now the 90s are almost 30 years ago. It's messed up. Yeah. Also, it made me miss the good old days. Just seeing the guys there, seeing the winners there. Seeing the winners
and listening to them talk also, by the way, listening to them talk and say some things that everybody in the Yankees fan universe has been saying. It's nice to hear them say it too, because they were actually the ones that taught us the way. But you're right. It's seeing them. First of all, I'm glad that they played the game. You know, like that needed to come.
Although, is this going to be the last one? Because Mo,
Mariano. And yeah, we can't talk about not getting out of our own way. Mariano Rivera comes in for the for Oldtimers Day, and it's like flashback to when he was shagging balls in center field, tearing his Achilles or
whatever injury. Literally same injury.
He's got a soft Achilles. He's got a Ui Achilles. I don't know what to tell you. Something's going on there. But yeah, it was good to see the guys back and just hearing them talk. And good timing actually for them to be back and talking about things, because the Yankees are just a complete shit show at this point. And listening to these guys talk about how nobody fears them, things need to change. Like, guys were talking about it, which I do appreciate. And I don't know, it just makes me want to say, hey, pluck any one of those guys out of their current job and whatever the hell they're doing, and plop them in the dugout. Just keep them in there and see what happens. That's all I was thinking.
So a lot of them are, special advisors. They come in for spring training, like Roger Clemens, who I love. The more I hear Roger Clemens talk, the more I love him. I always loved him when he was a Yankee, just for his attitude and ability to get up for big games. But just hearing him talk about baseball is refreshing. But he was a special advisor. It was also
nice him talking to O'Neill, and how when he got back on the mound and Posada was there, he had the signal, he had the signs, like the set was there just like they were before. He kept calling it, Mr. Splitty was working. It's pretty fun. Fun to hear.
But so many of these guys, Clemens, Andy Pettit, etc., are special advisors. They swoop into spring training, but I agree with you. It's not enough. And I don't know if putting one of these guys in the dugout is really going to make a difference. I mean, what else is there to say about Boone and the leadership on this team? You all know how we feel. We think it's the wrong thing. You got to cut the head off the snake. But I'm also not naive to think just cutting off the head of the snake is going to solve everything. Could it be a temporary solution for this season to sort of snap them back into a little bit of respectability? I think so. I think maybe, because I think there's enough talent there. But long term, if just changing out managers, that's not going to fix this team long term. Like, there's too many other problems with the team and with the organization, I believe, than just swapping out the manager. I'm not going to go down that road.
Well, hold on. Before we not go down that road, we won't know until we find out.
Well, sure, exactly. Won't know until we find out. But my point is that in the offseason, let's say the Yankees really do have a disastrous finish here and miss the playoffs. Right now, they're the third wild card spot, barely hanging on to that third wild card spot. Let's say they don't make the playoffs, and Hal finally gets fed up and says, enough is enough. We're moving on from Boone. If they just bring in a Boone replacement, that's not going to change shit.
No, but I don't know. To me, any type of personality difference, and if they're going for the same type of personality,
that's what I mean.
But either way, it's not Boone, so I don't care. Like, I'm at this point now.
Just try it.
And first of all, it's we've been on this kick now. I don't know anybody who's not on this kick. Like, this is just the most glaringly obvious thing in the entire world. that
Seems
this
pretty
man just has to
unanimous.
leave. And, bringing Devin Williams back into the game the day after, and watching him, putting him into a high leverage situation again for him to just completely shit all over himself again, which is the most predictable thing in the world. Like, egregious to be fired. Fire him. End his Yankee tenure with a loss to the goddamn Astros. That's exactly how he should. He should get buried with the Astros whooping his ass. That's what should happen.
Did you see that Devin Williams said on the broadcast yesterday that he's allowed more earned runs this year than he did in the previous 3 seasons combined?
It's crazy.
Was it 2 or 3 seasons?
It doesn't
I forget.
matter.
Whatever it was.
Multiple seasons. But when you have a guy like this who you just look at the graphic with the ERA across the years as well. It's like 1 point something, 1 point something, 2 point something, 1 point something, 5.5. It's probably higher than that at this point. I'm not doing a daily check on what his bloated ERA is, but yeah, the guy obviously has he fell into the age old, I can't pitch in New York, I can't pitch in the Bronx, something's wrong with me, whatever it is, it doesn't work here.
Who even knows? Who even knows? Like, he comes in, what is it, the 5th or 6th inning yesterday, looks dominant. Lights out.
They finally found a lane.
The appropriate lane.
Down 4 runs in the 6th inning.
Yeah. Getting no hit down 4 in the 6th inning is Devin Williams' lane.
This is where the Ryan Yarbrough lane we thought was going to happen, when they signed him.
When Weaver, though, went on the IL, there was a stretch there where Williams looked all right. So to say, oh, he just can't pitch in New York, whatever it is. I mean, look at the acquisitions that Cashman made, and the Yankees are 2-7 since the trade deadline, and the acquisitions that they've made have been pretty much a disaster. Jake Bird got demoted down to AAA because he's allowed 7 runs in 2 innings pitched for the Yankees. Doval has allowed 5 runs, 2 of them are earned, but 5 runs in 4 innings pitched. Bednar's looked the best out of any of them. I know he had a rough first outing. He had a really great outing over the weekend in the only game they won against Houston.
Well, he did walk the first batter to allow the tying run to score, which was unfortunate. But
he got the next 5 outs. But he's allowed 2 runs in 6 innings pitched. Rosario and Slater are both on the IL. Like, it's been 10, 12 days since it's been 11 days since the trade deadline. Basically, nothing has worked out that they've done.
Yeah, they didn't help the team. I mean, they have a third baseman, I guess, who can catch the ball now. That's he doesn't.
He can pick it. He can pick it.
He definitely solidified the left side of the infield in that regard. And they did get some people that could play the shortstop position, and I guess that helped Volpe also. So
they haven't played the shortstop position. They
could. In theory, they can play the shortstop position as a major league player. So maybe that did something. So addition by addition for Volpe, making sure that he's able to play. They're really pulling the strings here, bringing in extra guys just to make sure he's hitting. It's all working. And like this, they won 2 games in the last week. They won in 5, and
they got since the trade deadline swept by Miami, lost 2 of 3 in Texas, lost 2 of 3 to Houston.
Yeah. So they had an opportunity. I'm sorry, Trent Grisham was 1 home run away from this team getting swept by the Astros and losing obviously 2 of 3, so 3 of 4, or I'm sorry, almost all of the games to the Texas teams. But I mean, they got for Trent Grisham. I still think they should have traded him to get anything for him because he's having the best season of his career, and he's not going to be a Yankee next year. And the Yankees aren't doing shit this year.
But why? Why do you say it? Like, it would not shock me if they give him a contract.
Well, they would have to still sign him. They could do that after they trade him too. So you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter.
But like, you're writing him off as like, oh no, they're definitely not going to sign him. Like, Bellinger's also a free agent, right?
Yeah, I would have traded him too.
Okay, but my point is, if Bellinger's having a good season, Bellinger's going to get more money than Trent Grisham. Maybe they look at it and say, we need to retain one of these 2 outfielders. We're going to retain Trent Grisham at 5 years and $70 million versus spending 5 years and $150 million on Cody
Anything's
Bellinger.
Possible, Andrew. I have no idea what this team is going to do. I have no idea what Brian Cashman is going to do. Clearly, they don't learn from mistakes. Clearly, they see things in different lenses than everybody else on the planet Earth. And yeah, But no, I mean, Trent Grisham has been clutch. He's been extremely clutch at the end of games. He's come up with some massive big hits. He's been fantastic this year. There's no doubt. When I'm saying trade him, it has nothing to do with him being anything against his
trying
team.
to maximize
I'm
value.
trying to maximize value, get something, because I know this team's not going anywhere this year because they stink.
That's the thing. Like, yeah, we rag on them for making all those mistakes, outs on the bases, errors, and time again, same mistakes over and again. But the fact of the matter is, you're right. They kind of just stink.
I mean, just look at Cody Bellinger is probably one of the 3 people that I don't complain about this year. He's done a good job. He's
slow start, but
he's been phenomenal ever since then. And just but the play that he
ball slipped.
I mean, come on,
it's happened to the best of us.
I know, and I'm not going to kill him for it because obviously the ball slipped out of his hand. But the optics of what that looks like, there's a
he's looking at his hand like, huh? What happened?
He looks high as shit. There's a runner coming down the line. He's out by 10 feet probably if he makes a decent throw.
With an average throw.
Yeah. And, just can't grip the ball to throw it and does the full throwing motion, like full speed.
I felt, you know what? I felt that in my elbow.
Yeah. And so, yes, the optics just are there for this entire team. But
and it's exasperated by the fact that Judge clearly is not himself. He hasn't been himself for well over a month, probably going on a month and a half since the middle of June. We earmarked the date of that game he sat in Kansas City, and it was weird. Since then, he hasn't been the same Aaron Judge. Comes back from the IL, and they're talking about he might play the field. We don't know if he's going to play the field again. He's not, first of all, him in the lineup is better than him not in the lineup, but he's not the Aaron Judge we need, and he's relegated to DH. What that does with Stanton, who is playing well, Stanton quietly having a good season since he came back. His OPS is in like the 880s range. He is now, I know he played the outfield over the weekend, but he's not an everyday player when Aaron Judge is the everyday DH. And when one of those guys is out of the lineup, it's so noticeable.
Yeah.
It's very, very noticeable, the difference in the lineup when Stanton and Judge, one of those two guys is out of it. Combine that with the fact that Judge isn't Judge right now, and it's not a good lineup. The guys you were relying on and you are paying heavily to rely on, Fried and Rodon, have been 5-inning pitchers the past month to 2 months. Fried, I pulled his numbers. Fried's numbers since I think it was his last 7 games. 36 innings pitched. That's 5 innings per start. 41 hits, 24 earned runs, 4 home runs allowed, a 6 ERA on the nose. 6.00 ERA for Max Fried in his last 7 starts. Yesterday against Houston, O'Neill kept talking about how, big thing for him in his last starts, he wasn't getting ahead in the count. He needs to get ahead in the count. I think he threw something like it was like at some point it was like 18 out of 24 first pitch strikes, but he still was getting hit. Like he was getting hit. It wasn't that he was walking guys. I mean, he did have 4 walks, I think, but like he was just getting hit. He gave up multiple extra base hits. One of those was a ground rule double that would have scored a run if it didn't bounce over the fence. Like the umpire sucked. Yes, I know the umpire sucked. Did he suck more against the Yankees? Maybe. But the fact of the matter is the Astros were pummeling Fried.
Yeah, and I don't know if this goes back to the blister issue that he had, and
the 7 starts date pre blister though.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think I can I think he's tiring.
A little fatigue.
I think the fatigue. There's fatigue happening, and when you have fatigue, obviously mechanics start, flying out a bit, and not great vibes around in the clubhouse. Like it's hard to come through fatigue and stuff like that when everything is going wrong as well. There's nobody behind him that's going to help out. He knows it. I'm not sure if those mental things ever really affect professional athletes. I think they do, but yeah, he's definitely physically.
Joe Torre, who thinks they do? Joe Torre.
Why? What did he say?
Did you hear his? Did you hear it's so he was in the Yes booth on Oldtimer's Day, and Kay was asking him about analytics, and
oh yeah,
Torrey was talking about, obviously analytics are important, but basing decisions solely on analytics takes the human element out of it. There's a mental part of this game, and he cited the instance of he pulled Denny Nagel
in the
World Series game against the Mets to bring in David Cone. David Cone in 2000 had been terrible. He brought in David Cone to face Mike Piazza in the 5th inning. Denny Nagel was 1 out away from a win in a World Series game. And David Cone got Mike Piazza to fly out or pop out or something. And listen, I didn't love it. I remember thinking like, oh, I don't trust David Cone right here. But Tori's point was there's a mental aspect to this game that cannot be ignored. Humans are playing this game, trying to only base it on decisions. He was like, oh, well, I talked to managers and they're confused because they made a decision and 85% of the time this was supposed to happen. Why did the 15% happen? Because
that's
it's
the thing
not
about percentages.
because this is not MLB this is not MLB the show. This is not a computer simulation. This is freaking human beings playing against human beings.
But wait a minute. But hold on a second though, because Apple had a 3% chance that Trey Christian was going to hit a home run, and then he hit a home run. Why? Why does Apple?
Oh, the Apple statistics.
The Apple statistics. I hate them so much. There's a 4% chance that this guy's going to get or a 24% chance that this guy's going to get on base. There's a 3% chance that this guy's going to hit a home run. Shut the fuck up. Like, I just can't handle seeing that on my screen. It's so stupid. I could push buttons too. You know what I'm saying? That spit out random single numbers.
Do you know what MLB should do?
To do?
I just had a good idea for MLB TV. Just have an option to turn off everything except the game feed. The only thing you're watching is the game feed
and the crowd noise
and the crowd noise.
Or they do that in the commercials sometimes when they'll
but like all you're watching is the same camera angles, so it's the same camera angles and everything, except no strike zone box, no freaking thing in the corner at the scoreboard, no probability of double play ball here. Just strip it down to just show me the baseball game.
They're going to have a hard time justifying paying broadcasters after they do that because everybody's going to flock to that.
Most people won't. It's just going to be, hardos like you and me.
Yeah. But, when you're looking at Joe Torre and something like that, obviously that's a move that is not an analytics move you're talking about. That's a move that's saying, hey, I see something with this guy. I know the guts of this guy. And maybe there's a lot of luck involved with something like that too. But there is an element of I see something and I'm going to do something. And it's not, hey, I see this and I'm reading this sheet of paper and the numbers are telling me this. Like, you can use that in your game plan. You can use that in your scouting report. You can use all of those things. But you, at the end of the day, have to make an eye test decision a lot of the time, especially in moments that are bigger. And that just, all of that is gone when you watch Aaron Boone put Devin Williams back into a game that is 0-0, high leverage. Everybody and their brother is like, oh my God, I can't believe he's doing it again. Mm-hmm. Does it again, and the same goddamn thing happens again.
Because it was Devin Williams's lane, and the probability said this.
It was a right-handed,
Houston's a very right-handed heavy hitting team right now, especially without Yordan Alvarez. so I get it. The matchup said, but like the point Torre was making when he was saying that is Denny Nagel had allowed a home run earlier in that same game to Mike Piazza. He was facing Mike Piazza again in the 5th inning as the go-ahead run. He said, I cannot let Denny Nagel face Mike Piazza again.
Right.
So I made a decision. He felt in the moment, here's what needs to happen because I can't do this again. I cannot allow him to give up a home run to Mike Piazza. Boone should be saying, I cannot allow Devin Williams, who has blown like 3 of the last 5 games he's been in. I can't allow this guy to blow another game right now.
I can't allow this guy to be in a situation to blow another game. I can't even let him step on the mound. This is also like, I thought you were a player's manager at the same time, because if you're a player's manager and you got the back of your players, Devin Williams comes nowhere near that game at home. Nowhere near that game.
It's like, how do players have faith in Boone for these decisions that he's making? Like, if you're standing out there in center field and you're like, wait, really? Like this guy's coming back in the game, in a game we desperately are trying to win. We're trying to get anything, and we're in a tie game right now, and Devin Williams is coming in? Really?
Devin Williams is thinking the same thing when they get the phone call.
Devin Williams like, hey, Williams, are you sure? Are you sure?
Me? Are you serious?
Skip, my arm hurts.
Yeah. Like, I mean, there's there's some obvious things that are right in front of you that just can't be ignored. And I don't know how the front office of this team ignores the most obvious things. We joke about having the common sense department that we would be a massive asset to this team. Well, I've never seen it needed more than right now. And getting rid of this guy for the sake of getting rid of this guy for no other reason.
Yep, and it starts at the top.
And end it with Houston, please. Like, this is so fitting. I really just want this storybook to be written
last
right
game.
now.
Yeah,
Houston. This is your last game. Get rid of him before, because he's going to get a couple wins here with the Twins.
Oh, sure. I mean, this is a soft little zone coming up here, but like with Correa back on the Astros, it's like, oh, they've got their fucking mojo back. Like, and Jeremy Pena has turned.
Not that they needed it.
No, because they've continued to develop players, but like going against them this weekend, I had that sort of feeling from 5-6 years ago, where it's just like, oh, like
because it's Correa and Altuve right there.
Like you're not, and 8 years later, Yankees still don't know how to pitch to Altuve. The Yankee fans are still booing him, and he is still jacking home runs to left field at Yankee Stadium
on the first pitch
every time.
How do we not understand that if you throw a fastball anywhere near the zone to Jose Altuve in the first pitch, that he's going to swing at it and probably put some launch angle on that bitch and hit it to left field? This is what the man does. He does this. He's done it for his entire career. And it's not like he's getting out in front and jumping on you, because he's going to do it. He does it every time. If you're going to throw him a fastball on the first pitch, do not throw it in the zone.
How about just don't throw him a fastball on the first pitch? Like, try that.
It's we've come to the point of this demise now where, what you said earlier, we're tied with Cleveland, right?
Now Cleveland lost yesterday, so they're half game up on Cleveland.
Whatever, they're bunched right there.
Kansas City and Texas right behind the Yankees. The Yankees are now 2.5 back of Boston. They've got 4 games coming up next week against Boston. Boston's probably gonna have their way with them and push the Yankees even further away.
Yeah, because there's nothing showing me that the pitching staff right now is going to do anything to any team that has any sense of offense at all. They're in trouble. They're in big trouble.
Or any sense of just balls. Like, this team is ballless.
Yeah. Egyptian magician, is that your full name? Saying it's a very dead feeling, and it is. That's exactly what this is. It's a dead feeling. It's lifeless.
Walking dead.
It's lifeless for the fans watching this game. It's got to be a feeling inside that clubhouse that I don't know what to do with my hands, because everything that we do is wrong. Cody Bellinger is sitting
Ricky
there
Bobby.
Like, why?
Ricky Bobby won though.
Yeah, you failed me. Why? It's So the Minnesota Twins, I guess, are coming in at the right time, but this is exactly where the Twins, every time I face the
Twins sold every one of their players.
They did. Which is probably why they'll come in and win.
Buxton's having a good year. Otherwise,
isn't he hurt? He's always hurt. Is he not hurt?
Is he hurt again? I don't remember.
He was hurt for a minute again.
But like you could sweep the Twins maybe, and then
what is that going to do?
Exactly. Maybe win 2 out of 3 against St. Louis, who's a 500 team. But the Yankees, like, this is now 51 games dating back. They're 20-31 in their last 51 games. Like, this is not.
You're right there with the White Sox. I saw a graphic from that dude who does like simple art graphics or whatever, that they're right there with the White Sox tied. They were tied last week at some point for wins with the White Sox.
Yeah, and the White Sox are barely fielding a major league team.
Yeah. I don't understand, again, like, this is such a broken record at this point, but I don't understand how, when you see that graphic alone and you're looking at what the Yankees have done in the last 2 months, how you can say this manager's doing a great job with the amount of money that we've given him and the amount of talent that's on this team. Great job. The guy that literally continues to blow games that we traded for, granted, he didn't trade for him, but he does still put him in the game. Do I blame Devin Williams? Yes, I do. But do I blame Devin Williams for being in the game and being in the situation and being available to completely shit the bed? No, it's not his fault. That's not his fault. He put his uniform on in the morning. That's his fault. He walked out there. That's his fault. But Boone told him to be there. That's it. Like, Boone told him to be there.
So one thing, I think my favorite interview or not interview because it was two different things. Clemens and Torrey both talked about it. My favorite thing that I heard over the weekend from Oldtimer's Day was about George Steinbrenner. And I said a couple minutes ago, it starts at the top. Hal needs to get to a point where he will not tolerate what is happening on the field anymore, because ultimately he is the boss and he needs to say enough is enough. We're moving on from Boone, or we're moving on from Cashman, which I never think will happen because I think I've said why that's never going to happen. But regardless, Clemens and Torrey said something that I loved. They said, George kept us on edge and it made us play better. Okay. He would walk through the clubhouse, antagonize the players, put fear into the team, and they would go out and respond and play better. It was like to a certain level where they were joking. It's not like he was literally antagonizing them, but they knew what the expectations were from George Steinbrenner. And when he showed up, like if he showed up on a road trip, they said he showed up one time at Fenway Park in a big Red Sox series, and they're like, oh, right, like can't mess this series up. And they responded and they played better. And I just don't feel like the top, which is Hal right now, has any sort of influence on the players or on the clubhouse. He's just
Of course
there.
he doesn't. He's there, but like George Steinbrenner aside, that's any owner that has an expectation for their team to go out there and do the best that they possibly can, and an expectation for the guys that they've hired on the field to put the players in the best position. Like any owner who's got any sort of pride has this feeling of you got to do your job. You got to do your job. These guys are not doing their job. And again, it doesn't need to be George Steinbrenner. All Hal has to do is open his mouth at one point and speak to the media, speak to them, and just acknowledge what we're all watching. Like, I think I was joking the other night when I tweeted out, like, I need proof of life from Hal Steinbrenner. I haven't heard from him.
I know.
In how long now? Like, how can all of these things be going wrong?
Have they shown him? Like, is he
No.
even is he even at games? Like, is
I've
he alive? Is he there?
All I'm saying is like you need to acknowledge that what's going on here in some type of way, because right now there's just nothing. And Boone's taking the full brunt of everything. He's trying to answer all the damn questions. He's got no answers, but he's the one doing anything. Cashman's not really saying anything. Steinbrenner's not saying anything.
Cashman did that one press conference.
He's like, oh, okay, it's my time to say one thing, and then I'm going to leave, and I'm not going to give any answers, and I'm going to be condescending. And Hal just needs to like actually come. He does, that.
Oh, Cashman's super condescending.
He's gotten way worse over the years too.
Oh yeah.
He's just like, my shit don't stink. I know I'm protected. Yep. I'm just going to do whatever I want to do.
He's basically a mafia made man. That's how he acts.
Yes. And the problem is the top of the mafia in this instance doesn't kill anybody.
Where is
everybody lives?
He's in Florida. He's at Boca. He's at the pool. Like,
there's no one getting stuffed in a trunk. There's no horse heads in the beds. There's nothing. There's no accountability at all. There's not even the threat of accountability.
Right. There's not the threat that if we continue this,
I'm not even sure who's watching the games. I'm dead serious. I don't know. No one here knows. Chat, do you know? Does anybody know?
No one.
Hal Steinbrenner is watching the game. Nobody knows.
He is the last time he really was like public about a lot of stuff was 2 years ago when they missed the playoffs, right? Like, we didn't even really hear from him after the World Series.
We heard, I feel like the last time I've heard from him when he erased the facial hair policy. Is like when he.
But that was a written statement. That wasn't like,
okay, but like I feel like that's the last thing I've heard from him.
Oh, you know what? The last thing I heard we heard him say. Remember, he did that interview with Jack Curry mid last season talking about re-signing Juan Soto.
Yeah, a little bit.
That's like the last time I remember him talking.
Yeah, and he did acknowledge some of the Juan Sotos. Yeah, so he's not signed Juan Soto, screwed that up, and then he's just allowed all of this to occur every single day, every single game. Nothing changes, and Boone gets thrown out of another game for arguing balls and strikes. Like, it's a circus. It's a circus.
If Boone was half as good at managing games as he was at just yelling at umpires, this team might actually have something, but they don't.
They don't. Yeah.
A couple other things from the Oldtimers Day.
Yeah.
We already talked about Mo. Hope he gets better soon. Jeter, not there, and said, I'll never play in a game. And the exact reason is he doesn't want to injure himself.
No, he doesn't want to look like an idiot.
Probably that too. Johnny Damon. Johnny Damon. My favorite comment I saw was, why does Johnny Damon look like a guy that won a Johnny Damon lookalike contest? Unbelievable. He's got the long hair, the bloated face, the beer gut, but it's still just like shit-eating grin on his face. Like still just like, it's Johnny Damon.
I mean, tell me you have a drinking problem without telling me you have a drinking problem. This guy's face it was swollen. He got hammered the night before.
Puffy.
Hammered.
He's so
he
puffy.
might not have gone to bed. He might not have got that's crazy. You come back into town, and then you pull an all-nighter before Oldtimers Day. Like that's wild, because that is exactly what he looked like.
He was
I know that puppy face
sweating
anywhere.
liquor. He is sweating liquor.
100%.
I told you the one interaction I had with Johnny Damon. So I've told the story before. It was 2017. He was at Yankee Stadium for something.
All right.
And we lined up an interview with him. I showed up to Yankee Stadium, went to the suite that he was in. I forget who was hosting this. And I was going to do
it was a web developer.
It was going to be like a 5 maximum 10-minute interview. I brought my portable recorder and everything. His publicist or something comes up and he goes, Johnny doesn't want to do the interview. He's happy to talk to you, just like take a picture and stuff, but he doesn't want to do the interview. I'm like, all right, fine. I get it. There's a lot of people here. I go up and talk to Johnny Damon. Oh, he doesn't want to do the interview because he is hammered. He can barely stand up, this man. I get it. Good job, publicist. You don't want him saying anything dumb on microphone. I get you.
Yeah. No problem.
He would have done the interview. She wasn't going to let him do the interview.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah, Johnny Damon is I guess true to himself. You know, he's out there, and he looked interesting. I love seeing this. Was Roger Clemens' first time back for Oldtimers Day, I think.
No, I think he's been, but this is his first game because
maybe it was the game.
They haven't done the game in a few years.
So him being out there, and I know you talked about this earlier with him, he's just fun to listen to.
Oh my God, he's so good.
He is such a wealth of knowledge in baseball, and he still is like really dialed in. Yeah. And I know he's been coaching, doing some stuff in Texas.
He does like
probably can't get this guy away from.
No.
Yeah, I don't even know if he still does that podcast with his kids.
Son. He did.
Yeah. But you can't get him away from the game of baseball. He's obsessed. I'm sure he's hanging out with Pettit, who also is extremely dialed in with what's happening. But yeah, listening to him talk and telling stories. He would be so good for this team right now. He would be so good for this team. A guy like Posada would be so good for this team right now. I don't want to see Posada do it, because I feel like this team has got good enough, and unfortunately he would feel the brunt of that, and I don't want to think anything differently of him because of that. But I think he would.
Yeah, that's one thing. It's like you run the risk of your childhood heroes or the players you loved coming in failing at either coaching or management in some way, and then that kind of tainting things, like how Buster Posey's the GM right now in San Francisco. Like if he flames out, that kind of taints the Buster Posey legacy in San Francisco a little bit. But Clemens was asked about how he would pitch some of these hitters now, and he goes, I'd pitch you in, and then further in, and then further in, and then even further in. And I'm just like, yeah, like where's that mentality? Like, can I get Max Fried or Rodon or Garrett Cole? Like Garrett Cole will say that, but that's not his mentality. And I know that's not his mentality. When Roger Clemens says that, I'm like, oh yeah, he's going to drill someone in the ribs.
If first of all, you can't hear Garrett Cole say that, because if you hear him say that,
I'm going to pitch you in and further in, yeah, further in.
There's just something about that too. Like I think there needs to be a vocal transformation here with that, because it does affect how you think and how you fear a man. But you're right. The pitching inside mentality. I mean, Fried for the most part has been so good. And when you see him hit this wall, it's highly unfortunate. And look, it could be a middle of the season,
Yeah, dead arm
drag.
type
Like
of
this
thing.
types of thing happens
Yes.
where he comes back,
I mean,
in the next.
it better be, because then what are we doing?
Well, and would they absolutely 1000% need him to be that guy. But let's talk about Luis Gil real quick too, because Luis Gil came back finally, and this I know is his second start.
Hmm?
He looked much better.
Much better.
The control, obviously, he walked one guy in his last inning of work, but the control was much better. And
It was night and day.
but you also see how when the control is a little bit better, how much more that fastball plays. And it doesn't even have to be, a fastball that's like, seeking the zone all the time. It's got so much movement on it and late movement on it that it's a dynamic pitch, whether it's inside the zone or outside the zone. But he's got to prove that he can throw the ball over the plate. And when he does that, he's a different guy. And even the pitch count was, relatively efficient up until that last inning. He got into some trouble, but he was
getting swings and misses. He wasn't getting swings and misses against Miami. When was it against Miami or Texas that he pitched? Whatever his previous outing was, I think it was against Miami. He wasn't getting any swings and misses, and he was not around the plate. He was getting swings and misses. He was beating guys with the fastball, like just beating guys to the spot, and that's what you saw with the fastball. Like, here's the fastball. It's going to be a little bit above the zone, and you're going to swing through it because it's better. It's a better fastball than you think it is, and boom, right there. Yes, he was getting that. That's what we saw last year.
There's another thing here too, also with Boone. Like this is also an observation that he doesn't understand what's happening with this current team in the current moment, with the current people that are on this current team.
Currently,
yeah, you have Heel get into a little bit of trouble. He did walk a guy, but the pitch count was still manageable. It was still in a decent spot. And I don't know if they have.
He's probably on a pitch count.
That's the only thing that I don't know if there's a.
He has to be second start back.
Either way, you have two righties coming up. Let him finish the inning. Let him try to finish that inning. Face those two righties, because you can't just expel a guy in the bullpen at that point.
No, yeah, the bullpen.
You need every single pitcher in that bullpen so that you don't have to deploy guys and backed into a corner to deploy a guy in a tie game in a high leverage situation. You got to be able to manage that, and you got to push the starting pitchers a little bit more. You have to, because if you don't, and we said this at the trade deadline, before the deadline, like this is the Achilles heel of the team right now. No matter who they got, they have a massive problem with the starting pitchers going deep into games. And if Max Fried's not going deep into games, who is going deep into games? Carlos Rodon not going deep into games. Luis Gil not allowed to go deep into the games.
Heel right now, obviously, Schlittler, Will Warren. Yeah, those guys are not going to be going deep into games.
They're 5-inning guys.
You can't have Fried and Rodon be 5-inning guys. I also pulled something on Rodon. Where is it? In Rodon's last 7 starts, he's only gone past the 5th inning one time. It was an 8-inning great outing against the Cubs right before the All-Star break, but every other start has basically been a carbon copy. 5 innings, 2 or 3 runs, 4 or 5 walks, 100+ pitches.
Yeah, that's a number 5 starter. That's a number 4 or 5 starter.
Well, it's not anymore. That's a number 5 starter from years ago, but like that's not a $29 whatever million a year should be 1A type of pitcher. Definitely not that.
When you have that on August 11th, like when the problem goes deep 1 through 5 in your rotation, that these guys can't get out of the 5th inning, or consistently have 1 or 2 guys get into the 6th and 7th inning, at least to get some reprieve, a little bit of pressure let off of the bullpen. O'Neill said it last night, and we've said it 100 times. In this case, you need now 4 to 5 pitchers minimum to have a good day. Impossible. All of them, every single day, 4 to 5 guys minimum to have a good day. And if you have one guy that's off and gives up a few runs, you're in big trouble. The starter could probably give up a few runs. You have one of those guys in the bullpen, 3 to 4 of these guys that are going to throw have any kind of an issue. You're gonna have a problem. Not to mention, not like the offense is really like barreling down the
no hit by George Costanza into the 6th inning. This guy, they picked him up on waivers like a week ago.
I know.
What are we doing here?
I was looking at before we started here. I went and I looked at the transaction log of Jason Alexander to see how much of a journeyman he was. I mean, I don't think he had a major league stat that was like beyond before this year. I think went back to 22. He was in the minor leagues for a long time, got thrown around, got DFA'd, got like the guy was not in the major leagues for a long time, and he's going out there and throwing.
His stuff was not impressive at all. He was just throwing kind of stuff in the zone.
Change ups down. They can't hit change ups.
Weren't hitting it. They just weren't hitting them.
Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to say about, to your point about like, yeah, if you are trying to get 4 to 5 innings out of your bullpen every night, it's impossible for guys to be on every night. What about the fact that just fatigue? Like, it's not sustainable to have guys pitch that much every single day. You need days off, not literally days off. You need bullpen to have off days because your starter goes deep into the game.
Yeah. No, and Lee Jones, our buddy from UK, is on here and says the Yarbo will be back soon. He's going to be back.
Okay.
And De Los Santos, they do want him to eat innings. He's been good, actually. Like he's looked good. I'm trying to think about who he reminds me of. He has like
De Los Santos.
Yeah, the delivery reminds me of someone that has been absolutely driving me nuts because I can't place it.
A previous Yankee.
No, it's a major leaguer. I don't think it was a Yankee. Anyway, I'll think of who I thought it was, and I'll come back to that. But yeah, he from the camera behind, he looks like somebody. But he's been really good. He's been a guy that's been, someone that you don't expect to come in and pitch good innings, and he's pitched good innings. He's done a really good job. I think he's a sub-2 ERA at this point now with a decent amount of games. Like he's got a decent sample size and he's been pitching well.
And Schlittler's been, listen, he's not been overpowering in any of his starts or like lights out in any of his starts, but he's actually been fairly consistent as like a 5-inning couple run guy.
This is a guy that was never supposed to be dialed in for the major leagues. He's a AA, coming up from AA.
He's got a career 4 ERA in the minors. So this is not like someone who was just rocketing through the system because he was so good in the minors. Like, yes, he has a high velocity fastball, but like, that's it.
It seems like every single pitcher, every single right-handed arm that comes up and tries to start for the Yankees from their minor league system doesn't throw strikes and just has a real big problem with
seems like they should work
allowing guys on. Yeah. Like it's a problem with literally everybody. When Warren, starts walking guys,
you know what that probably is though?
With Heel, he gets into trouble. Schlittler gets into trouble. They can all pop the glove and get to that point where you're like, oh man, he throws 98, 99 miles an hour. But again, like, I don't think location has ever been more important in Major League Baseball than today.
Well, Will Warren's not a 98 mile an hour guy.
Will Warren
is someone that needs to be locating. But I think, to use a name from a few years ago, Devi Garcia, he
didn't throw hard.
No. But his problem was in the majors, he couldn't throw strikes. In the minors, he would throw strikes and got guys out. And I'm sure there's a factor here where it's like guys are a little afraid to throw strikes at the major league level. They're like, I got to be extra careful. I got to be pinpoint. So
I don't even think it's that. I think that's giving them I think that's giving.
Then why are they throwing strikes at the minor league level? Because it's the same mound, it's the same distance, it's the same plate width.
They're not throwing strikes. I think there's more guys swinging at balls in the minor leagues. True. And you have what looks like more strikes, but are they hitting their pitches? That's the thing. Like I think it has to do with repeatable mechanics. I think that there's been a problem with getting repeatable mechanics back, ingrained into what they do so that they can throw strikes consistently. And it's not, again, I've said this before with Clark Schmidt, with Will Warren, with Luis Heel. It's not just about throwing strikes. It's about executing the pitch that you want to throw and putting it where you want to put it. So yes, throwing strikes is a big deal because you walk guys, but if you can't locate a fastball in the inner half of the plate that needs to be on the inner half of the plate and it leaks out over the middle of the plate, that's just as egregious, if not worse. So you need to be able to prove that you can put the ball where you need to put it, not just throwing strikes. It's about controlling your pitches. And that we've seen this as a big problem coming up. Like I can't remember who the last guy that was that I remember who was supposed to be able to throw strikes, but then didn't. What was it? He got Chance Adams. Chance Adams won minor league pitcher of the year. We're like, okay, ERA down there. He won minor league pitcher of the year. This guy's going to be good. Throwing, he gets himself into trouble because he can't locate. And I think that what you're seeing a higher whiff rate. You're seeing a higher chase rate in the minor leagues, and those numbers look a little different. And when they come up, they're not getting the swings and misses. They're trying to be too cute probably and missing. And then when they leak over the plate, they get hammered.
We've talked a lot about the pitching, which I think is a huge problem, but like the offense too. Like we said yesterday, they got shut down by Jason Alexander. Earlier in the week, they got shut down by Nathan Eovaldi, who always shuts them down. But it's like, so you're getting shut down by elite
Everybody.
pitchers and you're getting shut down by garbage pitchers. Like you just can't hit. You just can't hit consistently. You might get a solo home run. You might get a 2-run home run if you're lucky. There's no consistency there. There's no inning. What was the term Francesa used? Run building. They don't build runs. They just kind of fall ass backwards into some runs.
Yeah, you see the occasional like scaffolding. Talk about a building like a base hit, a guy going first or third. Like it happens on the rare occasion, and everybody's just like, "Oh my god, they manufactured. They hit 4 singles in a row. Like this is the most amazing thing in a row." I would love it if we didn't hit another home run for the rest of the season, and it was just doubles in the gap, the gap.
I think there was 5 just punched singles to right field by Houston this weekend. Just playing pepper with the first base, second base hole into right field.
Correa did it with an RBI that won the game. You know who's done that for the Yankees? One guy that's done that for the Yankees for the majority of the season is Cody Bellinger. He's got that 2-strike approach that is different, which like, hey, maybe we should adopt that more. Grisham has it too, but they take what is given to them and they execute. They execute. Cody Bellinger has elite bat to ball skills. Like you could tell the guy just knows how to hit, and he has a different 2-strike approach, as do some of these other guys. You saw Correa 2-strike approach, just went with a ball. It was actually not a bad pitch. Like that Devin Williams base hit that he got, not a bad pitch.
It was a changeup down. Yeah. He just literally flipped his barrel at the ball to line a single up the middle with the infield in.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then Devin Williams hangs a changeup middle, and it goes 500 feet.
Yeah, because both,
Because both. I don't know what, like we said before we started recording, like what else is there to really say about this team that we haven't already said? And it's just, I think you kind of nailed it. Like they're just kind of sucky. And
team stinks, man. This team is not going absolutely anywhere. Like, and we're talking about getting a series win against Minnesota. I just wonder what that's going to do in the long term. Like, is anybody who's watching this team going to believe anything about this team if they come out here and whoop the shit out of the Twins?
Absolutely not. But I'll tell you,
if they win 10-0, 10-0, 10-0,
no,
and not one home run is hit, and they hit doubles in the gap every time. There's 2 no-hitters and a shutout and a perfect 2 innings from Devin Williams. No one's going to look at this and be like, okay, here we go. We're ready.
Okay, here's what has to happen for, I think, fans, and I don't even know if I would buy it after this because I've seen
you're on a different level, so yeah.
But I think if the following happens over the next, call it 3 weeks, then I think people will be bought back in. Sweep Minnesota. You've got 5 on the road against St. Louis and Tampa. Remember, 2 of those Tampa games, that's Steinbrenner Field. So you need to win 4 out of those 5 games.
You got to walk past the statue of George Steinbrenner to go into that.
He's gonna be looking at them sideways. So 3 in St. Louis, 2 in Steinbrenner Field. You need to win 4 out of those 5. Home against Boston, minimum 3 out of 4. But like you need to look good in those 4. Then you've got Washington and Chicago, 6 games. You basically need to win 5 out of those 6, and then you need to win 2 out of 3 in Houston, which is September 2nd through the 4th. Then you've got 3 against Toronto at home, and you need to win that series too. If on September 8th they have done all that, then maybe people and myself will buy back in. Seems like a tall order.
It's a tall task, man. That's a lot to do. And, that's a lot to do. That when I'm looking at the pitching staff,
that's the reality of what's in front of them.
The pitching staff, guys. Like that's it. That's all we have to do. You don't even have to go into the offense. You don't have to go into the base running blunders. You don't have to go into the fact that they can't field the ball well. Look at the pitching staff. How does this pitching staff get through the rest of the season unscathed? I don't see it. I don't see how there's a lane for this pitching staff to get through unscathed. Max Fried is reeling right now. He needs to be Max Fried the bona fide ace every time he's out there now. And if he's not that guy, I don't know where you're going to get it. I really don't, because there's no one there that's proved that they can do it. And the bullpen, even with the additions on, like Bednar is the addition, Duvall like looks good at times. There's just too many unknowns out there for anybody to rely on what they're doing. And you know that the guy in charge is probably going to pull the wrong move.
They're fighting many battles, including that one.
So yeah, they got to win. They got to win series. Like that's going back to the John Sterling, Susan Waldman, very simple baseball rule of thumb. Just win series. Just win series. You can't lose series.
But it's not just about playing better baseball to get into have good feelings going into the playoffs. It's if they don't start doing that, they're not making the playoffs, because they're in the third wild card spot, only up by a half a game. If you don't, you can't lose 2 of your next 7 and still be in the playoffs, guys. Like, this is not a trajectory to be making the playoffs. I think they said they're on like an 84 win pace right now because of how they're playing. 84.
And it's going down fast.
They were on like a 100 win pace at the end of May. Now they're on an 84 win pace.
Yeah. No. Oh, we're going to be seeing 500 going to be come into question.
Is good. Soon. You know how I feel. I want this seems good.
If they're not going to make the playoffs, it needs to burn.
No. Even if they are, what do I need them to lose the wild card series to Boston or something like that? I don't need to watch that. Give me full on meltdown disaster and just clean house.
Again, problem is that you have to do that.
Because you know why?
You got to follow it up with the clean house.
If they make the playoffs and get smacked around in the playoffs, which we know they will, they're just going to run it back next year. Who wants that? All right.
Yeah. And
couple of
Zoke Apple, the rumors of the Yankees thinking is to dismiss Alexander's pitching performance. That's absolutely right.
Wait, what?
To dismiss, like, oh, the guy just got lucky, or
he just had a
great bet.
Good game.
Yeah, he was hitting his spots. It was really tough out there. No, but that is that is how this team reacts to
the umpire. The umpire screwed Max Fried, and Jason Alexander was a fluke, just fluky. Yeah, that's a loser ass mentality, and that's
but that's exactly what this team is right now. Proof of life, please give me proof of life, proof of management, proof of authority, proof of. Show me that you're in charge.
Show me that you care. Show me that you care, Hal.
Raise your voice.
You've got this $7 billion entity that makes you hundreds of millions of dollars a year. Show me that you care about it.
I'll take Larry David right now acting like George Steinbrenner, putting out a video. I'll take that. Because he kind of sounds like Hal anyway. Hal sounds like Larry David.
I don't know. What does Hal sound like? What does Hal sound like?
Hal did sound like Larry David impersonating George Steinbrenner.
I haven't heard Hal in a long time. It's kind of hard to remember. A couple of housekeeping things. So next week, there may or may not be an episode. If there is an episode, it will be pre-recorded. Scott will do it with a guest over next weekend. I'm going to be out of town for the next 2 weeks, so you will not hear my voice again for 2 more weeks.
And we're both traveling on
Sorry, everybody. And all next week, including Monday, we're both traveling, so we're not going to be able to do a live episode. Scott will definitely have another episode after the Red Sox series, but TBD on after the St. Louis series. If there is one, please tune in, and then definitely tune into that YouTube live. Was that whatever it is? End of August.
You're telling people to tune in 3 weeks.
Cool. Remember, put it on your calendars. And then I'll be back again after Labor Day. And who knows, maybe the Yankees will still be in the playoffs.
Maybe. Keep your sanity, guys. Keep your sanity. This team is a tough watch.
All right. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for listening, and talk to you soon.
See you guys.